You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. La Crosse's Metro Transit utility workers picketed outside Grand River Station today asking for higher wages. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen was there. She joins us live in studio to explain what the workers are asking for. Good evening.
Ken, the cost of living is going up and union members say it's harder for them to make ends meet. Workers at today's informational picket say MTU has the money to help them get by. La Crosse MTU workers marched outside Grand River Station demanding more.
We are here to send a message to City Hall that we deserve a fair wage.
It's an informational picket for higher wages.
There is money out there for real frontline workers. We are in the front line every day. We are not on an island. We're not in our home. We are in the front line.
Local union president Todd Strasser says federal COVID relief funding didn't make it to the MTU's front line. La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds told News 8 Now that the MTU was restructured. That led to pay changes for management.
If you have additional responsibilities, the compensation for those positions has to increase. That's essentially where those pay increases come from.
Reynolds says the city is looking into a 3-year contract for the union.
We'll be conducting those negotiations with the union and not in public at this time.
Who moves that city?
For now, the union marches, asking for a new contract with a 4.5% per year wage increase.
If I can't get your attention at the table, these are the avenues that we go through. The money is there. Do what's right.
Strasser says ultimately, the picket is for the people.
If there's not a man in the seat, we don't have service here in the city of La Crosse. We all pulled together.
The union says MTU workers received just under a 3% increase, while MTU management got a 14% raise over the past 2 years. However, the city released data showing that all MTU employees have received at least a 7% raise since 2019. The city also said federal CARES and COVID funding has been and will be used for operating costs. Ken?
All right, thanks very much, Emily. The city also said they do not plan to engage in public negotiations. Both the city and the union tell us they hope to come to a conclusion soon. In the meantime, time to switch it up and talk some weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl.
Cold is the word. We were talking about it all last week, and that cold air arrived in earnest over the weekend. Check out these high temperatures today. Even though we had a lot of sunshine, high temperatures only in the single digits. 8 here in La Crosse today, 2 in Eau Claire, 7 in Winona and Sparta, 6 in Viroqua, and 8 in Prairie du Chien. Now, tonight, it's going to get even colder in terms of air temperatures and wind chills. In fact, a wind chill advisory in play for all areas from 8 o'clock this evening through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Wind chills as cold as 20 to 35 below. A beautiful view through CityCam this evening. That dry, clear air makes for some nice sunsets and some afterglows, and you can see that cloudless sky all across the tri-state area. We're already down to 2 degrees in La Crosse and Sparta, 1 below in Black River Falls and Eau Claire, also 1 below in Viroqua. Wind chill factors in the teens below 0, even 20 below in Rochester. So mainly clear tonight, bitterly cold. Again, those wind chills dangerously cold in the teens and 20s below 0 for many, even 30 to 35 below. But we'll talk more about that and what the week ahead has in store with my 8-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Bill. Back on the news side of things, Monroe County officials have an opportunity to voice their concerns with state lawmakers today. Board County members and the Wisconsin Counties Association hosted its first ever legislative exchange today. 96th District Assemblyman Lauren Oldenburg and State Senator Patrick Testin were among those listening to issues related to fiscal and regulatory policy. With the next state budget debate coming in a few weeks, county officials say now is the time to make sure state lawmakers understand the challenges local governments face every day.
The state of Wisconsin has a tendency to pass mandatory services, but they don't always pass the funding along with it. And I think Monroe County residents shouldn't have to pay for that. That's the connection. We need to push that issue that, hey, what you do in Madison does affect Western Wisconsin.
Local leaders discuss topics like funding for the nursing home, child care, and the land conservation staff. Governor Evers delivers his budget address February 15th. Wisconsin has a projected budget surplus of just over $7 billion. Freshman Congressman Derek Van Orden is stepping into a new role. The House Committee on Veterans Affairs announced that the Republican was named chairman of the Subcommittee on Economic Opportunity. That subcommittee oversees the education, employment, and training of veterans and other services like veterans housing programs. In a press statement, Van Orden said, quote, "Supporting veterans' mental health and financial fitness needs to be a priority for America and will be for this committee." We learned today another Memphis police officer is suspended as part of the investigation into the violent encounter between officers and Tyre Nichols. Many are renewing calls for police reform and asking why fatal encounters with law enforcement keep happening. CBS's Skylar Henry has the latest from Memphis, and we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is difficult to watch.
A sixth officer with the Memphis Police Department, Preston Hemphill, was relieved of duty for his role in the traffic stop that led to the beating of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols earlier this month. This video is from Hemphill's body camera that night.
Get on the ground! One! Now! All right, okay.
Hemphill's attorney says his client was not present at the second scene and that he is cooperating in the investigation. Nichols died 3 days later in the hospital. 5 Memphis police officers were fired and are facing several charges, including second-degree murder. All are out of jail on bond. 4 other first responders have also been relieved of duty pending an investigation.
Everybody's walking around nonchalantly like it's business as usual, so it should be accountability for everybody on the video.
A public funeral for Nichols will be held on Wednesday, with Reverend Al Sharpton set to deliver the eulogy. Nichols' death is prompting renewed calls for police reform in Congress, where the issue has stalled. Some criminal justice experts say current preventative measures like cameras just aren't working.
These officers knew they were on film. It did not prevent any of their unlawful conduct.
The Memphis Police Department disbanded the specialized crime unit where the officers in question were assigned. A neighborhood vigil for Nichols is set to take place this evening at the site of the violence. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Memphis, Tennessee.
A GoFundMe account in Nichols' name upped its goal to $1.4 million today as the amount was quickly approaching the original goal of $1.2 million. Still ahead tonight at 6, the steep temperature drop has health experts concerned for some people with underlying conditions. And UW Health uses modern technology to save some twin babies.
My case was very complex, and I knew that with Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben, I had picked the right advocate. I had complete confidence in Allie Sieben, my attorney. She was there with me, helping me through every step of the way. I would 100% recommend Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben to someone who has had an accident or a personal injury. They were my superheroes.
Call Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben or visit us at schwebel.com for a free consultation.
Nobody thinks about their sewer or drain until it's too late, and oftentimes, problems that do arise can cause major damage to your home, property, and your family's health. Why not treat your plumbing right and choose Maxwell White? For just $99, we'll perform a camera inspection of your drain, looking for any potential problems that may arise in the future. So don't wait until you're in over your head. Call the fast, reliable professionals at Maxwell White.
Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
It's easy to say things. Anyone can do that.
Look closer.
Meaning what you say, that's a little harder. And a little harder to find. But at US Cellular, when we say you get unlimited data for $29.99 per line, we don't mean only if you get 4 lines. We mean $29.99 per line, even 1. Plus, every plan is price protected for every customer.
Here's our problem. Without the hearing aids in, she can't hear the low frequencies, so she doesn't hear me. I don't hear the high frequencies, so I don't hear her. It was a perfect setup, but we had to interrupt it. We had time, and we were coming down Main Street, and I turned in.
It's not like you're going to strangers. It's kind of family-ish. To come here, you feel like you belong with them. I just think it's very comforting that they're a family business.
Better Hearing Center on Alaska, next to St.
City of La Crosse officials say they are listening to your feedback. During the latest City Plan Commission meeting, members went through feedback from the community survey. Over 2,100 community members answered questions related to housing, transportation, and the city's economy. City officials say the survey is useful for changing the capital budget and city policy to reflect the current state of La Crosse.
It's a good reference point to allow elected officials to see what the current issues are and the current strategies in place for our city to grow.
Ackland says they are still in the early stages of the comprehensive plan, so if you missed your chance to give feedback, well, stay tuned as another survey will reportedly be made available soon. Recent cold conditions could have a negative effect on your lung health. Health experts say our bodies are pretty good at regulating temperatures, but cold air can still be harsh on the lungs. Cold air is usually dry and can cause irritation. This feels like a tightening sensation in the chest or shortness of breath. Prolonged exposure to the cold, especially during storms, is not good for anyone, but people with respiratory diseases like COPD or asthma can feel especially uncomfortable. So doctors recommend that patients with those conditions take extra precaution.
The best thing that they can do in order to protect themselves is to be prepared, whether that's having an extra supply of your inhaler regimen for a few days in case of an emergency, or having an emergency generator for their medical equipment.
Doctors say breathing through your nose and out through your mouth can help prevent that airway irritation. Toma Health and Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin are holding a 2-day blood drive. The first one is tomorrow and on February 1st from noon to 5 p.m. at Toma's Recreation Park. To donate blood, a person must be in good health, around 17 years old, weigh at least 110 pounds, and have a photo ID. Now, 16-year-olds may also donate as long as they have parental consent. While the process for whole blood donation usually takes about an hour, the blood collection itself is usually just about 10 minutes. Coming up after the break, an architectural marvel that's literally a limited time only. Crews are pushing through a January curveball to give some tourists a truly unique experience.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. We've got more wind chill advisories in play for tonight. This time, all of us are under that advisory. I will let you know what to expect and just how cold those temperatures will get tonight with my 8-day forecast coming up next.
This is our community. And while the present moment may feel unpredictable, we are here to help you stay focused on the future. So stay safe, stay strong, and stay confident with Gillespie and Associates.
When you rent a Culligan water softener, there is no down payment or maintenance costs. Imagine all you could do with the savings. Dive into better water. Contact your local Culligan water dealer.
And he was a kid, 4 years old, he had lats. The only way you get lats is from doing prison time and doing pull-ups. He was a bad little kid. He was so evil, his first baby tooth, it came in chipped. Walking around the neighborhood smoking his mama's cigarettes.
Get ready for the comedy of Marlon Wayans, the Microphone Fiend Tour. Saturday, February 11th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Black River Falls, Wisconsin, with special guest DC Irvin. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Marlon Wayans live.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Monster Truck Nitro Glow Tour will invade the La Crosse Center with 2 big shows. February 17th and 18th. Monster Truck Strong Racing and Tough Truck Racing. Plus all new Inflation Buster prices. Limited tickets only $10. Available only online. VIP tickets includes the Pit Party Pass and the best seat. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com, MonsterTruckTour.com, or the box office. Subject to services. Ride in a real monster truck. Kids get a free tour gift at the Friday show while supplies last. 7:30 p.m. both shows. February 17th and 18th at La Crosse Center.
Get in a Jeep today at Pischke Motors in La Crosse.
Or Pischke Motors in West Salem.
The Start Something New sales event is your opportunity to save over $5,000 off MSRP with discounts and rebates on select 2023 Grand Cherokee L's. With 3 rows of seating, this highly versatile Grand Cherokee L Limited is perfect for the whole family to enjoy. Come test drive one today because this offer ends January 31st.
Start your search at Pischke.com and then drive away in your new Jeep.
Retirement is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, so you need to get it right. At Gillespie & Associates, we'll design a plan so you can retire on your terms. I'm Private Wealth Advisor Tim Gillespie, and I'm here to help.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Well, a warmer than normal January has sidelined many winter activities, including the ice castles in Lake Geneva. Now crews are working hard to build the glowing castles for the end of this week. Colton Molesky drove down to check in on the lakeside ice architecture.
A tremendous rise and fall of the castle, literally.
The ice castles in Lake Geneva were scheduled to open on the final weekend of January, now racing to adjust, opening on the first Saturday in February.
Yeah, it's a bummer when it melts out and we see all of our progress go away, but it always motivates us every year we look at it as a challenge.
Warm weather melted down most of the work building manager Alberto Huerta and his team accomplished. He says it's all part of the game when forced to rely on the weather to play nice.
We shot up really quick. We were 20 feet tall in 5 days. So usually we melt out to stakes and grass. This year was a little different. We had ice, but just different challenges with thinner bases and stuff like that we had to compete with this year.
The crew has not let adversity wear down their collective spirit.
Just seeing this castle just coming to life, it just having that determination, especially the morale gets kind of low at points when you see the ice castle get so big and then it drops down, and it's just that drive to we're gonna get this thing done.
Assistant manager Colleen Anderson says the team is working at a historic pace.
This year it's projected to be I think 15 or 16 days, which will be the fastest in the company history of building any ice castle this year.
Staff say everyone who had tickets for last weekend will get their money back, and the ice castles are expected to stay up now through the end of February as long as weather allows. And I don't know what it is about Lake Geneva, Bill. My dad actually lives down there. So they've got these ice castles. A couple of weeks ago they had an entirely glass Christmas tree that was the world's largest Christmas tree. So if you guys have some weekend plans, I guess going down to Lake Geneva is the place to be.
And it's like farming, though. They depend on the weather to let those things survive.
Yeah.
And it was pretty mild this past month of January until this weekend. Well advertised. Saturday, the high was only 15, Sunday 10, and today, even with abundant sunshine, only 8 degrees for a high temperature. So we can take that full and you can see it for yourselves there. So 6 days now below average, but 21 days of this month we have seen an above average high temperature. Now skies are currently clear, and here's the numbers from today. We started at 4 degrees to the bad side just before 8 o'clock this morning. Again, that high of 8 at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Averages are 28 and 10, so again, not just below average, but by 20 degrees. Can always be worse though. 37 below the record low today set in 1951. We had some snow over the weekend, just light amounts here in the cross, but boy, Madison, Milwaukee, parts of southeastern Wisconsin, 6 to 10 inches of dry, fluffy snow. 2 degrees currently at the airport, 3 here at the station. Feels like 14 below though. With a westerly breeze at about 10. Good evening to you folks in Eau Claire. 1 degree to the bad side, feels like 11 below, even though the winds are fairly light. And that's going to be the trend tonight. The winds aren't going to be overly strong, but when temperatures are this cold, again, finally, purple has spilled southward out of Canada. We know you Vikings fans like your purple, but on the temperature map, it's not real great because it means temperatures are usually in the single digits above and below 0, and that's exactly where we stand this evening. 0 in Eau Claire, 2 in La Crosse, 1 below in Viroqua, and 1 below in Black River Falls. Again, winds not overly strong, but even a 5 to 10 mile per hour breeze pushing wind chills in the teens below 0. And already 20 below in Rochester and Preston. So a wind chill advisory in effect for the entire tri-state area for tonight from 8 o'clock this evening through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Wind chills could approach 20 to 30, even 35 below. I think the coldest readings will be to the north and west. So common sense, folks. Limit time outdoors, wear appropriate clothing, keep those extremities warm, and don't forget about your pets and livestock as well. Wind chill tracker, in fact, showing wind chills by tomorrow morning when you head out the door for school or work, as cold as 20 to 25 below in the La Crosse area. But look at Eau Claire, Red Wing, Rochester, Preston, between about 30 and 35 below. So frostbite can occur in as little as 30 minutes or less in those types of conditions. By noon, wind chill's better, but it's going to stay cold all day long. Now look at these actual air temperatures tonight, between about 10 and 15 below for many spots. In fact, most locations in the teens below 0. And again, this isn't even counting the wind, so it's going to be cold for sure. And that's why, even though the wind's not going to be overly strong, that's why those bitterly cold wind chills are in play. High pressure in control, but Also, bitterly cold air in control for tonight with a clear sky. That snow cover as well. Two good ingredients for very cold temperatures. Just a few passing clouds tomorrow night. Maybe some flurries just north of Eau Claire, but most of us will stay dry. In fact, dry for much of this week is the way it's looking right now. So forecast details for tonight. Bitterly cold, 11 below, but wind chills as cold as 15 to 25, even 35 below for some. Mostly sunny but cold tomorrow. Highs around 15 degrees. And looking ahead, not quite as cold Wednesday and Thursday, low to mid-20s. Another little shot of cold air, though, Thursday night into Friday. Maybe Punxsutawney Phil is going to bring that. We'll have to blame him. And then milder for the weekend, low to mid-30s for highs, but with that will come more cloud cover, maybe some light snow showers on Saturday, and then some light rain showers or a mix on Monday with highs well into the 30s.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that weekend for sure. Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Coming up next in sports, the Aquinas Blue Golds have been the class of the MVC so far, and the girls basketball team right where it wants to be as the postseason inches closer. Rob's got that story next.
New windows can give you a whole new view of the world around you. Call today for a prompt free estimate from the Board Store Home Improvements, 782-8877.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Get everything for your next home renovation at Menards. When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, Pittsburgh has got you covered. From crack-resistant to fast-drying options, we have the paint for your needs. Grab a gallon today for $49.98. It's a great time for your next upgrade from your appliance destination right now at Menards. Upgrade your home with quality, energy-efficient appliance brands, including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. Save big money on your entire appliance upgrade right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
When we designed the all-new Honda Pilot Trail Sport, we made it adventure ready. With features like off-road tuned suspension, an enhanced all-wheel drive system, all-terrain tires, and Trail Watch. So you can blaze new trails. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever.
At News 8 Now, we feel it's important to honor great teachers in our community. That's why we're honoring Meg Bookner from Stoddard and Prairie View Elementary.
And I love creating art with children, and I love seeing them create art and get excited about what they're doing and make something that they're really, really proud of. And just watching their imaginations fire up is 100% a dream job.
Learn more about this month's Top Notch Teacher at news8000.com. Top Notch Teacher is brought to you by these proud sponsors.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
When it comes to high school hoops in the MVC, there's one squad that's really separated itself from the rest of the pack so far this season. That's the Aquinas girls basketball team. It's been this way for a while. The last time the Blue Golds lost a conference game, the Cubs were still looking for their first World Series in over 100 years. I was still waiting tables in Beverly Hills, California, and Donald Trump wasn't even president yet. It's been more than 7 years. Blue Golds are still going strong in 2023. The girls back at it Monday as they gear up for another tough test Tuesday against West Salem. As for the Blue Golds, they're 17-1 so far this season, a perfect 8-0 in conference play. Head coach Dave Denarcy says playing in such a tough conference makes it nearly impossible for his girls to have an off night. Aquinas is getting every team's best on a nightly basis, and for the Blue Golds, that level of competition doesn't just play a big part in their success and consistency on the court, it surely helps with their confidence as well.
It's essential, and I think that's the one. I think we can bring some respect to the west side of the state, and because there's really good basketball being played out here, and nobody knows us better than our conference teams, and I feel like we get everybody's best shot. We're going to be well tested as we get in there. Now it's just staying healthy and getting a little better each day.
It really just pushes us, and we have to prepare for every game and go into every game really ready to play. Our goal this year is to get a gold ball and win state, so I think we're really capable of that, and if we keep working hard in practice, we'll get there.
One of the shining stars for the Blue Goats so far this season is freshman Sammy Davis, and she's bringing it on both sides of the ball. Over the past 4 games, Davis has scored 110 points. Coach Donarski tells me Davis is all about effort, and that starts on the practice floor.
She's just touching the surface of what she's capable of, so yeah, incredibly excited for 3 more years of kind of developing the remainder of her game. But boy, she's a handful right now, and she's been a huge part of what we're doing to succeed. From a competitiveness, from an athleticism, from a just, her mentality is everything that we would want and more.
Davis and the Blue Golds have been an absolute force in the MVC. They'll step out of conference tomorrow night in what should be an incredible matchup as Aquinas takes on West Salem. So last time they lost a conference matchup was 2015. What were you doing back in 2015?
Sophomore in college.
Wow.
Yeah, 2015. I think my dates are right. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Sophomore.
Mets won the World Series that year? No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
That's a long.
It's just the best year in recent memory for guys like you. Right?
I mean, that's a lot. We had to dig through the archives to make sure I got the date right.
Yeah.
It was December of 2015. Coach Donarski, I asked him how many conference games that was in a row, somewhere in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this team is the class of the MVC, and it showed this year, even against teams that are, with good records like Holman. Holman's done well this year, but they couldn't even come close. So.
I know. Donarski, quite the coach.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Winter is here. And with winter weather come accidents and mishaps. Whether you're on your way to work, walking the dog, or out on the trail, accidents can happen. That's why we have insurance, to help with the unexpected accidents that are not your fault. At Bygoff and Rohde, we'll help you get the insurance settlement you deserve to pay your medical bills, your lost wages, and get your life back on track. If you're injured, call us. Call Bygoff and Rohde.
Are you ready to make a change in the new year? At Your Home Improvement Company, we can help you turn your resolution into a reality. For bathroom remodels and energy-efficient windows, our team of experts can help bring your home improvement dreams to life. Act now for 10% off your entire project and get our great financing of 2.99% or 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2025. So call or go online today and let's make your New Year's resolution a success. Happy New Year from Your Home Improvement Company, where it's your home made better.
When you watch News 8 Now, expect depth.
Now the DoD is updating their requirements to use foam without PFAS. It's a federal change that could have happened sooner.
Every civilian airport, they were all supposed to be using non-fluorinated foam.
Expect community.
A partnership between Mayo Clinic Health System and La Crosse's Boys and Girls Club is helping kids get help right when they need it. And now it's expanding its reach.
We are News 8. Expect more.
Again, mainly clear tonight, bitterly cold and alert night due to those dangerously cold wind chills as cold as 15 to 30, even 35 below. Air temperature of 11 below in La Crosse. Wind chill advisory in play for all of the tri-state area until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Not quite as cold Wednesday and Thursday, highs back in the 20s.
All right. Thanks, Bill, and thank you all for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you at 10.